Welcome to the Branded Impact Podcast. On this show, we go beyond surface level branding, honest conversations with industry leaders, behind the scenes of aligned brand building, and actionable insights to help you elevate your presence. I'm your host, Jocelyn Espejo, aka Joe. Hit subscribe and join me each week for the Branded Impact Podcast. Today's guest is Ashley Fritchie, founder of Puddle and Bloom Tech Marketing, a web design and tech support company helping female entrepreneurs build stunning, strategic websites without the overwhelm. Ashley's brand is all about blending beauty and functionality. She knows how to create websites that not only look great, but support growth, streamline the client journey, and elevate the brand experience. Her mission is to help women show up confidently online with a presence that feels aligned, polished, and here's the key, profitable. From automation to aesthetics, Ashley's helping female founders ditch the DIY and build websites that work for their business behind the scenes. Ashley, welcome to the Branded Impact Podcast. I am so excited to have you as my official first guest. And I would love to have you start with telling me the reason why Puddle and Bloom. What had you form this business?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me as your first guest. I'm so excited to be here. And so, why Puddle and Bloom? I've always been in marketing my entire career, and especially in website development. But it came to a breaking point. And honestly, it was during a holiday season when I was working about 100 hours a week and literally sleeping on the couch and missing every single moment with my kids. So after that season, I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I couldn't. And it got to that breaking point. So I knew I needed to shift. I needed to shift my entire perspective on what work looked like and how I viewed it and what I needed to do in order to be there in my kids' lives. I have two kids. I wanted to actually be there for them and not just like actually showing up and being a zombie, but actually being present in their lives. And Petal and Bloom started. And so worked 100% remotely. And my priorities are family first and creating a job that supports that lifestyle.
Well, and that's such a shift because I think there was a long time where people thought that the only option was to be stay at home. At least that's where it was for me growing up. It was either you work full time or you're a stay at home mom. But I was like, oh, wow, there's this whole other world where you could be present and build something. So tell me why websites? Like, I know it was marketing, but were you in website design before?
That's actually a really good question. I love websites. They make sense to me because it's structured. It's almost like putting together this puzzle and putting together like this incredible user flow and this client and customer journey. And it is so amazing to see like the starting point of this is how a customer is coming onto a website. This is how they're going to migrate into like a paying client or a paying customer. And you get to literally design it however you want to. It's like a blank slate and you develop it and you design it in a way that resonates with the ideal client and also with the business. And it's not a one size fits all. But in just like listening to and really understanding the business, you get to develop like this beautiful website that's going to benefit them and it's going to grow their business. It's something that makes sense in my head. And then I also get to design something beautiful for them and it grows them. So yeah, I love it. It's a passion that's also a way that financially helps everybody.
You touched on something that I think a lot of us miss. A lot of us think about websites when we think about it, we want it to be pretty. But there's so much more that goes into whether or not it's just pretty. And I think a lot of people are not necessarily educated enough to know the user experience because you can have a beautiful website, but how many women have you had come to you that say, I have a website, I have the logo, it looks beautiful, it's not converting, like I'm not getting business. If you could encourage me or you could tell somebody to make an investment and to skip just using a template and to go into a custom website, tell me like the 2 or 3 reasons as to why that's really like gonna help you move the needle in your business so much faster.
For some reason, it's been a trending topic over the past couple weeks. Understanding why your client is coming to purchase from you and having the clarity of the reason and the pain points and the value. And so the biggest difference between going and getting a cookie cutter template and then going and working on a custom website is you're understanding the value that you are bringing to your client. The biggest part that we really hone in on is that value stack, going into like that psychology and that deep dive of the reason why your client is coming to you and sort of what that looks like. Like, why does that not feel good? So we can understand it and see how you are bringing value to that person who is coming to work with you.
It's identifying the pain points, but helping them really reach what their desires are. So, like, maybe they're in this state, but you're trying to get them to what their desired goal.
And it really goes into that. And that's the magic on it because it is such a beautiful process because you could be working with somebody who is having a hard time and they're struggling, but you are the one who's helping them process through it and go and give them this amazing service.
You sometimes get too caught up in making it pretty or making it like you can give too much information, or if you make it difficult for them to, I want to buy, like, I want to work with you. Don't make me go looking 500 places to just click. Like, I just need an easy way to say yes. So, then what is your take on making sure that you are speaking to both and giving that opportunity to either one? Like, how do you help someone navigate that?
So that sort of goes back to what we were just talking about, really understanding who you're supposed to be talking to. And so if you don't have that original clarity of, okay, who my ideal client is, if they are the type of person who just wants the bullet points, or if they're the type of person who really wants that full information, that's going to impact your conversion rate on the website. There's so many tools out there, so you might have two different versions of your web page, but you're able to go in and test them. And so always rely on the analytics to tell you the truth.
One, I love that you're focusing on wanting to know the ideal client. And then I think sometimes too, it's nice to kind of speak to a little bit of both so you have that information. But your ideal client, sometimes I'm told, is a lot like you, but sometimes it isn't. So just because you are a person who wants all of the words may not relate to the ideal client or what they're needing. And it also depends on your service. Because some people, depending on the service, may need to explain a little bit more. But I love that you're tying it back into who are you speaking to? What are you trying to serve? Like, what does that look like? But talk to me about how you build a website that not only is talking to your ideal client, but also reflects who you are. Like, how do they know that you are that person? So, how do we tie in that piece to the website?
So that is probably the most difficult part. Definitely, 100%, because of how much your brand is going to evolve over time, too. And I saw your face on that. It really does. And just like even thinking back, and this is so embarrassing, the first version of my website to what it is now. Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, our brand and our brand identity changes over time. Understanding where you are right now and sort of coming to the realization that's not necessarily where it's going to be 5 years from now, but getting down to the nuts and bolts of who you are and your brand is important. And so the biggest things we go through is brand identity, your color palettes, your logo, branding, mood boards, and those different elements that influence the style of the website. But we also talk through where you want to be in a year, where you want to be in 5 years. And so those are like the different things that influence the design of the website. But it's always also understanding that your brand changes and it grows with you as your business grows.
Okay, so when you first started and you decided to do your website, has it evolved at all? Like, have you okay, so what was the
First.
but okay, so when you're looking back and other than it's also kind of hard because 'cause you're in website design. So, I think it's like asking me about my photos that I started, first taking 16 years ago that I thought were amazing, and now I look back and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Like, okay. But we evolve as creatives, and we get better, and as business owners, no matter what field you're in, it should be constant, never-ending improvement. So, if we're also not looking back being like, "Oh, we've gotten better," maybe we should look at what we can do to improve. But I just wanna know, like, when you first started, you had this in mind, right? You had your target client in mind. You had brand colors, you had a mood board, you had all that in place. But then what caused you to make that shift? And I think that's what we're finding. Like, I find a lot of women have I mean, when you look at them, they're beautiful, but they're still falling flat. So, like, what is it that you think is causing that disconnect? Is it because they're using colors that aligned with somebody else and not with them, or the brand evolved? Like, what is it?
Two things. One, don't necessarily go with what's the most trendy. And so that's something that I see happen a lot is, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like those really, really popular trends. They're hot, they're really popular, and they burn out really fast. Because then what'll happen is 6 months, a year down the road, your website and your brand is outdated. And so instead, if you find something that resonates with you as a person, not necessarily with what's trend, like super popular trends and flash trends, that is going to be a more timeless look. It's the difference between finding something that is timeless and will evolve with you throughout the seasons as compared to something that is hot, flashy, and trendy for right now and just this season. It's just a different way of approaching branding. And don't get me wrong, some of those are so much fun and they're beautiful and they're just gorgeous.
My quick solution for that is, I mean, you make your website template and design timeless,
Mhm.
then you get like an on trend brand photo that you can put in.
Ooh.
And then you update your photos in 6 months and you switch it out for something that's a little bit more timeless. So that's a little hot topic tip for someone who wants to be trending, because there's brands out there that like are trendy, like what is in with right now, but that doesn't mean you can't do both. So I like to say, make your template design more timeless and use your photos to stay on trend and relatable. And that could be as simple as, I changed my hair color. But that's just a little quick tip for anybody who's like, how do I stay trendy but not have to majorly morph my website?
Really interesting you brought that up. We have, and this is just like happened over time. There's different industries that naturally gravitate towards different color palettes. Even if they come in with their own branding, a lot of the time, those are the colors and tones that are incorporated in their websites because they want to give off more of that like calm and soothing tones to the website. So when people are coming on and viewing it, they're already feeling a sense of calm and clarity. It's not the feeling that you want when you come to a site if somebody's going in trying to look for help. And so I agree 100%.
It's just the psychology piece, and there's so much that goes into it. But I also tell my clients, don't pick colors that you absolutely hate, because you don't want to go onto your website and be like, God, I don't like it. Like, I don't want to use it. You want to be able to confidently portray your information and share your information and get out there. So I guess tell me, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you're seeing women make right now when it comes to their web presence? And what's like the number one way that you would say to fix it?
We actually touched on this a little bit and not having a conversion factor on the website. And so, for example, say you're in a service based business, but you don't have a way for a client to convert into a customer. And so I love HoneyBook. I think everybody should use HoneyBook. I'm a huge fan of it. And so HoneyBook is a CRM tool, and it's a way for potential clients to go in and book appointments, schedule meeting times. And so we would use that on the website for like a free consultation and to embed it in there for somebody to go book a meeting with the business. Now, instead, what I've seen happen is they don't have the back end systems in place. And so they will have a website or they'll have a landing page up. There will be no way to build an email list. There will be no way to book a consultation. There will be no way to actually build up the backend system to convert into revenue, to convert into paying clients, to convert into an email list, to convert into marketing. So those backend systems are not in place. That is like 100% the main issue that I see. And the majority of the people who are coming in that we work with, those systems are not in place and we help them get them built.
It's unfortunate, but some people are trying to do it on their own. And when you're out there, there is so much information and there are so many shoulds, is what I say. Like, there are so many shoulds on what you should do to running a business. And so when you're not working with an expert, you're missing some of the stuff, because the website templates are forgetting to tell you, click connect to your CRM. Like, they're there, but it also could potentially be on your to-do list that just lives on your to-do list because you're doing all the other things that need to get done first. Well, I would love for you to share an example of a brand transformation that you have worked on. So tell me a little bit about what it looked like. How has that impacted their business? How has it helped them grow? Like, what is the potential that a a great aligned website can do for somebody?
The one that comes to mind, it is Med Spa back east. And I'm partial to this one client because of how much I just adore her as a human. So she came to me and there's her website. She had used an overseas developer. And so it didn't have the branding on it. It didn't have the functionality. Nothing was linked over to her actual booking system. The website just was not working. After that, we worked together, rebuilt the website. She loved it. Oh, she just loved it. And so fast forward, everything is working. Her business is thriving. And she actually asked if we could go in and build her a second business website because the original one was doing so good. So now we're working on her secondary business that she is now starting because of how good the original one is doing. She had a clear picture of who she wanted to talk to, just needed help putting it together. And so that's where we came in, put together the vision, put together the boys, put it together just on a really, really pretty website. And yeah, it was great. I loved working with her. She is like dream client for us.
Well, this is when you can tell that you love what you do, because when you light up about the clients, and I think it's the same thing for me, like, I get excited and I become their biggest cheerleader. I'm like, "Listen, I want you to succeed." And it's stuff that sounds so simple to you because 'cause you're like, "This is just what I do." And this is one of the things I just wanna touch on before we follow into the workshop piece that you've got coming up this summer. When it comes to outsourcing, and I know that you've seen this. We all do it because business is expensive. We have so many expenses. And so then give me your take on the opportunity cost. Like, I've learned these lessons the hard way. If I could go back and tell myself, you know, 10 years ago, invest in a better website now that aligns and that converts and that helps you drive your business. It may feel expensive, but the amount of money that I've lost in opportunity cost has been, I don't even think I can count it, right? So, like, that's the piece. Like, how do you help someone overcome the hurdle?
So I have a different take on this. I actually, if you're on the fence, I actually suggest them to do the template first. And there's a reason for this. I want you to be so secure in your decision to work with me and to go and spend the money that I feel like you should experience the template first. And that way, I know that when we work together, there's zero doubt in your mind that you are ready to do this and take that step.
Interesting take. I love the confidence. I love that you want the people to have, and I think, I think all of us as service providers want to know that whenever you decide to make the decision to work with us and make that investment. So I am going to help anyone that's considering working with Ashley with a different take. Ashley wants you to have full confidence in working with her and spending the money, which I think is phenomenal. But there is also steps. And I am not saying that you've got to go spend $10,000 on a custom website right now, especially if you're just starting out. But there are also pieces. And I don't remember what your services are because I think you can also do tech on the back end. Do you help people if they're not ready to go all into a custom, but they need some stuff set up on the back end?
We do. And so how it works is we have two different websites. We have the microsite and the full site. And so the micro site is just like 1 to 2 pages. Like it's like your baby website. It's like if you're not ready for like the full huge website, but you just need like your little introduction, you get a microsite. You still have everything with it. You have like copywriting, you have the back end, you have all the fun stuff, but it's just not the major website. And so what happens? We have a lot of people who start with that. And then when they're like, okay, we've been up and running for a year, we're good to keep growing, you just roll that over into the full website so they're not wasting money. I don't like it when people waste money. I don't think it's good. I don't. It's why we don't charge interest. It's like there's a few things that really get under my skin. It's when you pay interest because I don't think people should pay interest. It's when you waste money because I don't think you should waste money, especially in a business. And so we just roll everything over.
And you don't need a 5 or 6 page website when you're just getting started. You really don't, guys. I know that there's a lot of people out there. Done is better than perfect. I've actually told people start with a page, just get a domain, get your landing page up, give people a place to go to know that you exist and to be able to fill out your contact form. But you can start with a microsite and then you build, but you're not having to start all over, which is what I love. I love that you have that service because then you don't have to like feel like you wasted all this money and then you're just starting from scratch again. So you can have that nice foundation.
And we do the financing on them, and so they're not paying. Yeah, and so they don't pay for everything up front. And so, like with the microsites, I can get broken into 4 payments. With the full website, it's broken into 12 payments. And so it's the same thing. It's all in-house, and so you're not applying for credit. There's no additional fees or anything. It's believe in community, believe in working together and having people support each other. It's hard starting a business. And so that's why just we get into it to help each other and to support each other.
Internships are not an option. That's a very time consuming, it's a very bandwidth heavy driven option. But you've got a solution that you're going to be offering this summer, correct? For people who are interested in starting their own service based business. So please share. I want you to talk about that.
I'm actually really excited. We get asked often if we offer internships, and we don't. And again, it's basically exactly what you just talked about. And so over summer, what we're doing is running just like a little micro course on having people how to start your business. And it sort of leads into the people who are like, okay, ready to do the microsite, ready to do this, that, and the other. But it just helps give you that jump start on, okay, this is exactly what we did to start our business. These are all of the mistakes we made starting our business, and this is how you avoid them. Because, I mean, business is hard. And so I want to give you the tools that you need so you can avoid them. Because I'd rather you not make those mistakes.
And I love how you said jumpstart. So I actually have like a jumpstart option for people who are not ready to go into like a full branding session. But I'm like, listen, everybody needs at least a good handful of images for their website, for profile pictures, for all those things. So that jumpstart piece, like it really is. It's like, can we just help you? And when we say jumpstart, it's like you and I both have been through the grind. We went through the stuff, and there's certain things that I wish I would have done differently going back in time. And one of them is my website and making sure that I made it easy for people to want to work with me. Like, that's just honest. I look back and I'm like, and then building my email list, that was a huge one. If you do not have a pop up lead gen option for people to be able to join your email list, I need you to pause the podcast. I need you to go and create it right now. Like, that is an easy way to build a community that if they're not ready today, they may be in the future, but get them on your email list. But yes, the website, that is one of the things I wish I would have done a little differently sooner. And I don't know what the opportunities would have looked like if I would have done it, those little tech pieces sooner.
And I'm just going to like give you kudos on your end of it, especially like when you're talking about the branding and the photos and everything. It makes such a huge impact, like, on everything, because that it's not just website, it goes over your marketing, it goes over emails, it goes over everything, and it ties the vision together, like, nothing works without that piece. It really doesn't, and so just yeah.
I think that's the biggest piece for tying in personal branding is the photos. And I spent years only putting up my work. I would only put pictures of the photos I had taken because I was like, no one needs to see my face. They only want to see what I can do. And how many people, and I'm just curious, but have you had people who tell you, Ashley, it is incredible to work with you, and they haven't even seen the website?
Yes, 100%.
It's the service.
It is, and you touched on something, your face, having your face out there, it's hard to do.
Alex, it is.
Yes, I'm not a fan of it, but I'm not. But there's a difference between, like, putting your face out there and putting your work out there, and just even the reaction and the connection you get to your audience, and it's vulnerable.
Well, and we all forget, and this is this whole business adage. I'm so glad we went here. You like to do business with those that you know, like, and trust.
Yes, 100%.
In this world where we are able to expand further because of social media, because of websites, because of all these things, it's no longer who can you see face to face to do business with, but how are they getting to know, like, and trust you if you are not showing yourself and who you are? And so then one of my favorite things to do is to help people find confidence on camera because a lot of us have a really bad experience with being on photos. And I am going to blame the yearbook photographers. Sorry, do better. Like, If you are a yearbook photographer, let the children have a better experience so they do not grow up hating professional pictures. Or we'll blame the moms out there that made us all dress in like really awful outfits. I'm dating myself for the generations that the family photos, like the kids were all dressed in the exact same outfit. You just hated the idea of a family photo. But there's so much stigma. And I hear often, I swear if I had $1 for every time I heard, I'm not comfortable on camera or I don't like to have my pictures taken. And it's because, one, I can't take a selfie to save my life. I'm a professional photographer and I still my clients will go to take a selfie with me and they're like, well, let me take that from you. Like, let me help you out. And I don't do self portraits. When I do my own photos or when I have brand pictures done, I'm also working with a photographer because there's so much that goes into it, but I need someone to pull me out of myself. And it's where brand photos, if you're working with the right person, can really change the game on what it is. And I think that is the power of personal branding that we have with the photos. Like we get them to know who you are and they get to learn and know and like and trust you.
I love it. I'm so happy we ended with that too. That was just it because it shows the people's light and it shows like what they're about and their passion and it just you have to have it.
You do. And you but it's all the pieces together, guys. Like you can't. And this is another piece, and I was so excited when we got on the phone the first time because I'm like, okay, there's got to be a connection. Like the brand photos are fantastic, but if you try to put them into like a cookie cutter website, you're still not going to get the effect. Like it's one of those pieces. It's better than nothing, guys. Like there's stepping stones too. So please hear me. If you're not in a place that you're like custom website is a thing yet, put it on your vision board, make it happen little pieces at a time. On that note, is there anything else, Ashley, that you wanted to cover before we?
I loved this though. I had so much fun talking to you today. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on the podcast and for sharing some of your tips. Websites are a foundational piece of every business. And if you do it right, it can really change the game for you. So thank you so much. If you are interested in working with Ashley or learning more about her microsite or full custom websites, you can find all of her information in the show notes. There's links. And please connect, follow her on Instagram. Tell me your Instagram handle.
Puddle and Bloom Tech Marketing.
Love it. So Puddle and Bloom Tech Marketing. If you'd like to follow her on Instagram, it's puddleandbloomtechmarketing.com, correct?
Correct.
Perfect. So definitely click the links on the show notes, connect with Ashley. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to Ashley for websites. I would love to chat brand photos and how you can incorporate them both. That's a wrap. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Branded Impact Podcast. If today's episode sparked something in you, please take a second to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a friend who's ready to unlock their rebrand era. And if you're ready for a brand that's rooted in authenticity and built for impact, one that truly reflects your story, your energy, and your evolution, let's connect. Head to brandingbyjoe.com or DM me on Instagram at brandingbyjoe. Thanks for hanging out. Now get out there, show up with purpose, and make your branded impact. I'll see you next week.